Good evening, and welcome to the Wildcat Sports Network. I'm your host, Nick Luttrell. On tonight's episode, we recap that big win against Pine Bluff on the road this past Friday night, plus get a little behind-the-scenes look at what it takes to be a part of the WCSN team. Hunter Wood and Justin Moto are in the studio. It's Friday, September 21st, 2018. Conference play begins tonight, and you're watching Wildcat football on the Wildcat Sports Network. Normally we kick things off with Coach Wood, but first, joining us now is our producer who runs things behind the scenes, my favorite person in the entire world, Mr. Sherman. Mr. Sherman, thanks for being here.
Thanks, Nick. And I definitely didn't make you say those things in the script. I appreciate you wearing pants today.
Right. So let's talk about some of the things behind the scenes. What does some of the preparation look like before a game on Friday nights?
Well, I'm going to pretend that obviously you're a big part of our program and you know what goes into it, but I'll just pretend for your sake that you know nothing about it. Our program, what we do is 12 to 15 hours worth of work before Friday even hits. So, you know, you go out there on Friday nights and you shoot the entire game, and then you come in on Monday and you're dropping footage. You're creating the news stories that we see in the show, and that takes you until about Wednesday. So it takes about 6 to 7 hours to complete one of those stories. On top of that, we do the show that we're doing now. That takes a lot of time. You write all the scripts. We have to piece everything together. We're starting to incorporate more volleyball. We're trying to do tennis and golf and wrestling. We're trying to be all-inclusive for Har-BER High School. And so all this takes about 12 to 15 hours, on top of designing graphics, show opens, what's coming up next for the week. We also broadcast every volleyball game on Tuesday and Thursdays, pep rallies. We do the games on Fridays. The games typically consist of about 8 to 10 hours worth of work. Our team shows up about 4 o'clock every day. For instance, on Pine Bluff, we had to leave at 11 a.m., drive there, set everything up. So it's a really intensive program, and it makes a lot of people work really hard and really fast. So we just appreciate all the work that everybody's putting in, and I don't think the students get recognized enough, and you know, they're just a big part of what Har-BER High School means.
Now, this may be still a little bit of a sore subject, but let's talk about Pine Bluff. You guys weren't able to provide live video for that game. Can you talk a little bit about that?
It's unfortunate. You know, Pine Bluff was probably one of the biggest games of the year so far. Hopefully we have some better games. But that was an intense game, and we really wanted to deliver the video, but sometimes it's just not up to us, and it brings us back to how fortunate we are at Har-BER High School. We have by far one of the best press boxes in the entire state of Arkansas. There's no doubt about it. The only one closest to us is Springdale. Springdale's got an equivalent to that. But there's nothing else that compares unless you're in Razorback Stadium. You know, you go to War Memorial even, and we've shot there before, and there's nothing like what Har-BER has. So Pine Bluff was a tough situation. We showed up about 4 o'clock, as I said. We drove from 11 a.m. to 4. We got there and we set up, and we were inside this 6x6 metal box is what it was. So it was about 120 degrees. We set everything up, and what turned up was that our switcher actually just fried. So it's something that we can't really account for that. It just happens. But you know, you just go to these places, and I know people are starting to get a little frustrated because of internet issues and things like that, and that's something that's out of our control too. Well, again, like I said, Har-BER's an elite facility. We've got Ethernet drops everywhere, so we have internet access at all times. But you go to some of these away places, and it's like you're in the middle of nowhere. And so we're trying to work around that, trying to find options to do that. But it's just something that we do our best with what we can, and we try and deliver great content.
Absolutely. Can you speak a little about what WCSN is doing, like for the state? No one else like WCSN is able to, not a lot of other people are able to provide live event coverage. Will you talk a little bit about that?
So Har-BER, the Wildcat Sports Network, is probably, you know, we're an award-winning, national recognized program, but we're also known for our live events. I'll give you an example. I went to a workshop this past summer, and it was with all the elite broadcasting programs in the entire state. And so we're talking about what we do as far as live streaming and broadcasting, and one of the top broadcasting teams, they said we do about 40 events a year. We cover football And then, you know, you had like Fayetteville, and Fayetteville said, you know, we do about 30 events a year. And then you had Bentonville, was like 15 to 20 events a year. And then they asked me what I do. And I said, our team broadcast 107 live events this last year. And they were just speechless. And I mean, that's just showing the dedication. We cover every single volleyball game. We cover every single basketball game. We cover every single football game. We're starting to get into wrestling. We covered some soccer last year, on top of choir, band, graduations, and any special events and pep rallies. We do everything. And so we're doing all that to deliver more content to the community. As far as the Wildcat Sports Network is concerned, we try and push everything we do into an ESPN style shoot. So I try and give them real world experience so that when they're ready to go on to post-secondary, or if they're ready to go into the job world, they have a leg up. Most of my kids that go through this program, when they go on to the other programs like you know, the U of A, they tell me all the time that, you know, this has prepared us so much with the fact that we're so far ahead of everybody else. Even these seniors that are just now graduating college, we already are equivalent to them, and it's just a testimony to what we're teaching here at the school and giving them real world experience.
So what is your goal for WCSN? I mean, you basically built this from the ground floor up, and how is it like starting WCSN, and how do you see this building like in the future?
I wouldn't say that I built this from the ground up. I think you know, Trent Jones was a big part of this program before I got here. He started in 2005. I would say that WCSN, as far as the show and our live event coverage, was kind of built under my command, but Trent Jones was really kind of the ground floor and the launching point. My goal is to keep pushing this to be the best in the state. I told, we have conversations with Wayne Stellick all the time, and I tell him every single time I see him, I want to be the best. I want the kids to have the best. And so everything we do, we're trying to be the best to give them real world experience. We have wireless cameras. I mean, there might be one or two other schools in the entire state that are doing wireless cameras. We have instant replay that we're working on, the graphics. We have live sideline reporting that you do. We do courtside reporting on basketball that you do. We do a 40-minute pregame show. There's no other program in the state that's doing anything like this. And so I'm always trying to push the kids, and let's see how far we can go. Let's see who can be the best. And I think they're finally being recognized for that on the national level. We were just nominated for several national Emmys, including Sportscast and News Show. And so it's just great to see how far they've come.
Mr. Sherman, thanks for being here. Let's take a quick commercial break to hear from a few more of our sponsors. But don't go anywhere. When we come back, Coach Wood will be here in the studio to help recap last Friday night's big win against Pine Bluff. The Wildcat Sports Network will be right back.
Champions are not merely born, they're forged in the crucible that is flag football. With equal parts turf, pigskin, and heart. That's why Buffalo Wild Wings donates to boys and girls clubs across the country to not only help thousands of kids learn about teamwork on and off the field, but to help them fulfill their destiny, to shred defensive lines, terrorize the secondary, and emerge bonded as true champions.
First Security is here. Only here. So that means we're here, here, and here. Even here. And definitely here. Because here is where we want to be. For you. First Security Bank. Only in Arkansas.
Hometown. That word still means something here. It means we're neighbors. We do the right thing. We care about your family. And you deserve the very best every time you walk in the front door. HAR-BER. Hometown Fresh.
For WCSN, I'm Ashlyn Grace Brothers.
No, you gotta own it. You gotta be like, for WCSN, I'm Ashlyn Grace Brothers.
For WCSN, I'm Ashlyn Grace Brothers.
No, I'm Ashlyn Grace Brothers.
Okay, I'm Ashlyn Grace Brothers.
Better.
Yeah, but don't you think I should add like some...
Ow! Red, yellow card.
Is she gonna be okay?
Yeah, they always do this.
Okay, so you said, I'm Ashlyn Grace Brothers.
Yeah, just
No.
one more time. One
But
more
don't
time.
you think that I should add something like that's the way the cookie crumbles, or ooh, okay, good one. I could say something like
No, just one more time.
okay. For WCSN, I'm Ashlyn Grace Brothers.
Much better.
Joining us now is head coach Chris Wood. Coach, last Friday night your team traveled down to Pine Bluff, came home with a big win. What were some of the takeaways from that game?
Well, I mean, I thought we handled it well. I mean, it was a longer trip for us. You know, it was hot. It was a warm night, and then we didn't play our cleanest ball. I had some penalties go against us. Had a little adversity there. I thought our guys showed good perseverance, stayed the course, found a way to get a win in a tough place on the road. And there's just, you know, a lot of variables outside just playing the game that comes into play, just how you handle all different situations. I thought our kids handled it really well and found a way to win the game against a team that's probably going to be playing the semifinals, if not the state championship at the 6A level.
Mm-hmm. Now in that game you had a lot of guys that played really well, especially your son Hunter Wood. But someone else that stood out was wide receiver Micah Seawood, who had 4 receptions, over 120 yards receiving. Will you talk a little about his success in that game?
Yeah, I mean, you know, anytime when we start with a skill guy having a big night, you got to go back to the guy in the trenches. And I think our offensive line did a really nice job for us, and giving us time to throw the ball, executing in our running game and our passing game. And then, you know, Hunter did a good job delivering the ball, and I think Micah really stepped up, got him the ball quick, where he could use his skill set to his advantage. Then he had 2 big beaters over the top, a go route for a touchdown, and he had another little scissors play that was a big play for us. So we've known all along Micah can do some special things. We really like what Micah brings to the table. Nick Buchanan, Hunter, Luke Sawyer. There's just a multitude of those guys stepping up for us.
Now, I think it's very important that we talk about Hunter again. He accounted for over 75% of your total offense. We talk a little about his growth coming in here from last season as a sophomore, and just what do you expect out of him like this year and the rest of the season?
Well, I mean, I think the biggest thing is he recognized what you need to do in the offseason to get ready for the 7A West. You come in as a sophomore and you're in the situation which, you know, one of the big reasons he was thrown into the mix so quickly last year because of the number of injuries we had with upperclassmen. And he got out there and he saw the physicality level of Friday night football. And I thought he took that into the offseason to get himself stronger, to get faster. You know, a good thing about him is he can recognize, you know, the areas where he's got to grow, you know, the weaknesses or the things that come up a little short. And he works on those to kind of minimize that, to make that a strength. And, you know, he's just got confidence because you can tell he's played in a lot of games for us already, even though he's only a junior. But I think where he took the next step was his off-season prep and the urgency and the dedication you have to have there, because it just does. Another year doesn't roll around. You just don't roll out there and it comes. And no one's entitled to anything. You've got to work for everything you got. And I think he's really encompassed that mentality, especially being my son, because, you know, the easy out for everyone is just say, oh, he plays because he's your son. Well, it's furthest from the truth. He'd play on any team in the state and start for him.
Mm-hmm. All right, thanks, Coach. We'll bring you back later in the show to preview the Tigers. But first, let's take a quick commercial break to hear from a few more of our sponsors. Don't go anywhere. WCSN will be right back.
Ozarks Go from Ozarks Electric Cooperative is leading the fiber revolution, connecting the divide with high-speed broadband access to close that gap. From cloud to cloud, post to post. From downtown to way out of town, to connect our customers to a world of blazing speed and access to absolutely everywhere. It's our customers connected and energized with Ozarks Go.
We came to Arvest Bank to see what makes it different.
It's a community bank
that really reaches out to the customers to make them feel special. I feel special every time I come in here.
They want to be involved in the community and want to be part of the community.
They support our university, our athletic department.
They've told us that they could have a fleet of volunteers there to help this year if we needed.
I see them at a lot of our Hispanic community events that we do.
I can't think of another bank in the city that has such a big community presence as Arvest.
Arvest Bank, our customers say it best.
Springdale today. Winner of 12 Student Pillars of Excellence from the Mid-America chapter of the Emmys. Winner of 6 consecutive All-Arkansas Awards. And member of the Broadcasting Hall of Fame from the Arkansas Scholastic Press Association. Springdale today. Your award-winning source for information and entertainment in the Springdale Public Schools. Find us on YouTube.
Welcome back. Joining us now is junior Hunter Wood. Hunter, you had one of the best games of the year last Friday night against Pine Bluff. You accounted for over 75% of the total offense. Why do you think you were able to excel so well?
Well, that week, the Sunday after Russellville, we found out Blaze had a concussion. I brought the receivers in. We kind of threw the ball, trying to figure out where they were, where they'd be on the field during the routes, and just the route tree, ran over the route tree. And then that week in practice, we just finding out where to run the ball, the gaps to run through, just finding out where the O-line would block them out and just fill up on that.
Yeah, and you talked about Blaze being out. With the absence of him at starting quarterback, you had to step up a lot against the Zebras. What was the preparation like being a quarterback rather than a wide receiver?
Just being more vocal at practice, just being more positive with the team, having to communicate more. Running pass pro, calling pass pro, filling reads, looking for reads, and just finding out where to throw the ball, where to run the ball, stuff like that.
We've seen you at quarterback and wide receiver this year. From just your opinion, where do you feel the most comfortable at?
Probably receiver. That's just where I've played the past 3-4 years. It's just where I'm comfortable at. It's different being inside the box than being outside of the box, and different from seeing corners and safeties than defensive linemen and linebackers.
Tonight, conference play starts at Bentonville. What can we expect out of the Tigers?
They're definitely still the Bentonville team that they are. They still preach, play physical, play fast, play Northwest Arkansas 7A West football. It's just their linebackers are really fast. Their defensive line's really, really talented, big, strong, powerful dudes. Their secondary is young. Their linebackers are young. It's just something we just got to play HAR-BER football, play fast, play physical.
Yeah. Thanks, Hunter, and good luck tonight. Let's take a quick commercial break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we will take a look at literally one of the biggest players on the team and how he's making a difference with his leadership. WCSN will be right back.
People treat us like we're kids.
Yeah, we're kids.
We're also all-stars.
We're quarterbacks.
We're fighters. We're teammates. We're hype men. We make each other strong.
We're kids for now,
but we're all-stars for life.
During the Great Depression, nothing came easy. But with just 5 cents, an old truck, and a load of hay, John Tyson and his family found a way to deliver quality chicken to other hardworking people. Today, Tyson continues to find new ways to help put a chicken in every pot. Because people deserve farm-raised chicken of the highest quality. At Tyson, we remain committed to this simple promise: to always keep it real, to always keep it Tyson.
You can love where you live and play at an apartment community managed by Lindsay Management Company. Affordable apartments with awesome amenities, including clubhouses, fitness centers, pools, tennis and basketball courts, and playgrounds at select locations. Many locations also include golf privileges, business centers, game rooms, tanning beds, whirlpools, saunas, and resort-style swimming pools. View rates, photos, and apply online at lindsaymanagement.com.
If you absolutely, positively want the best heating and air company in Northwest Arkansas, then you need to call Absolute Heat and Air with over 73 years of combined experience. Their technicians are fully licensed and insured, background checked, and drug tested, so you can absolutely trust Absolute Heat and Air. They offer $49 service calls all year long, 24/7, 365. The absolute best value around. Call Absolute Heat and Air or visit us online.
Ever since we incorporated theater into our practices, our hustle plays have increased 60%.
No, guys, I need more emotion. I want to feel it. Show me the emotions. Oh!
Standing at 5'10" and weighing in at 260 pounds, Jonathan Rea is one of the biggest players on this team. Last year, he was unable to play, and this year, thanks to the majority of his coaches and support staff, he has worked harder than ever to take a starting role and motivate the team into a 2-1 start going into the conference play. Let's take a look.
After allowing 0 points last game, the Wildcat defense, led by defensive tackle Jonathan Rea, looked to keep the momentum going tonight here at Pine Bluff.
Yanni's come a long way in terms of his development. He's gotten a lot stronger in the weight room. That was the start of it. I thought that he had a great off season, a great spring. Took on a leadership role. He understood senior year, last shot. He's got a chance to be a real good player for us, and I think if he keeps improving like he has thus far, there's going to be a lot of good things ahead of him.
For the Wildcats, they must take it game by game in order to have success in this league. And with Jonathan quickly improving, this defense has the potential to be one of the best in the 7A West.
We have a good brotherhood environment where we can feel like everybody can speak what they have in their mind. And I feel like I'm somewhere there so they can trust, and they have the problems, they can come talk to us. Once we got that loss, everybody got their heads down when I told them, like, pick them up, we got this, we're a young team, we're gonna, like Coach Wood always says, we're running a marathon, not a sprint, so it's gonna be one step at a time.
For the Wildcats, they must take it game by game in order to have success in this league. And with Jonathan quickly improving, this defense has the potential to be one of the best in the 7A West.
He's improved a lot. He's using his hands more and getting off the blocks more and getting off the ball real quick.
He's gotten better with his technique, using his hands, being able to get off blocks and making plays, taking up situations to where guys aren't able to make plays offensively that they maybe had made in the first game. And that's the improvement that I've seen out of them in terms of how they've progressed through the year.
He is encouraging me and everyone to be the best, because last year he was a junior and his grades, he didn't have the opportunity to play Friday night, so he's taking advantage of it right now. And he's being a leader to everyone, hyping them up and everything.
The Wildcats get another great win tonight as Jonathan Rea and the defense allow only 2 touchdowns and lead the Cats to their second win here in Pine Bluff. For WCSN, I'm Jules Wildcat.
Jonathan is a senior this year, and his younger brother Jorge is a junior. Both of them are key leaders on this field and are vital to this year's success. One more quick commercial break. When we come back, Justin Moto will be in the studio. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Wildcat Sports Network.
Zaxby's food has always brought people together. Catering to the big moments, the little wins, the long talks, and the quick getaways. Because food this inviting is bound to add a lot of flavor to your life.
Introducing the Zax Pack. Served with chicken fingers, sides, Texas toast, and iced tea. Pick one up for dinner or your next event. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's. Indescribably good.
When accidents happen, our 30 minutes or less ER service pledge can mean less waiting and faster care. The 30 minutes or less ER service pledge at Northwest Health System, Bentonville and Springdale.
I think Springdale Schools is a great place to teach. They have cared about my salary. They have cared about my time.
Administration is awesome. They want to be there for the kids. I mean, they are #1 priority.
The staff, teachers, everyone's very
very nice, very polite, and very welcoming. It really feels like a family.
It's always good when you have a diverse population like Springdale for kids in the classroom to see people that look like them, so it gives them a role model.
I always say if I had somebody like me in kindergarten that could speak both of the languages, that would be tons of help.
We go out of our way to provide everything that we can so that their children can get a wonderful education, because they are the leaders of tomorrow.
Northwest Arkansas, it's growing. That's one of the great things.
I am originally from San Antonio, and I cannot tell you, this is a wonderful place to raise your children.
It's just a great place to live, to work, and just to have fun.
Joining us now for the very first time is senior defensive back Justin Moto. Justin, you've been out the past few weeks with an arm injury, but returned last game, had a pretty good game, a couple pass deflections, a couple tackles. How good did it feel being back on the field, and what are some things you feel like you can add to this defense?
It felt really good being back on the field. You know, I missed 2 weeks. I missed Russellville, PA. PA was a big game that I missed. I would really like to play. I haven't strapped up in a long time. It felt really good. I felt like I was live. I really didn't have that much intensity that game, but because I was kind of scared because it was my first game back. But I was ready to play. I feel like what I bring to the defense is my leadership. They really tried to make me into a leader this offseason, because there's only like two seniors that are starting, or three, me, Miller, and Blake Wade. So we need to spark up leadership there and build a defense. And I think that's why we had such a bad game versus PA, because we didn't have any leadership, and it was our first game, obviously. But and we have the full DB set back, so we have all 4 of our starter DBs. And we played really good on 7-on-7 during that time. So I think that gives us confidence back. I think we'll be really good.
And talk about being a leader, and as a senior, there's not a lot of seniors on the team. What are some other ways that you feel like you've really been able to step up and be a leader?
I really have to step up. I have to watch film, to know all the fronts, know the plays. I mean, coaches help with that on the sidelines and everything. But I mean, not many people will know like the play. And if I know the play, I can kind of help them. I can say, watch this, or like defensive line. Whenever it's like 3rd and long, I'll yell out, don't jump off sides. Some like little stuff like that. Just keeping everybody's heads up. Don't let everybody's heads down. Like for example, we at Pine Bluff, we got beat quite a bit on the deep routes. Just our eyes weren't right. Just looking back at the quarterback. You know, I would tell Ty, keep your head up. Tell Griffin, keep your head up. Tell Jay, keep your head up. We just got to keep playing, and yeah.
Yeah. Now tonight you'll face off against an always tough team in the Bentonville Tigers. They started off, they're 0-3 on the year, but they've played a lot of really tough non-conference games, including a big good team out of Texas. What can we expect out of the Tigers tonight?
Just like Coach Wood said, they're 0-3, but they play some really good teams. I mean, we can never underestimate Bentonville. We got hit with a lot of deep posts by Pine Bluff, and that's Bentonville's favorite route combination, is just post. So we're going to be looking for that. We're going to be manned up. We're going to play fast, play physical like always. Bentonville's a really good team. They've played tough teams, and it was still close. Obviously, never going to underestimate them. They have some good receivers. They have a good offense. I mean, we're gonna bring our A game there. We're not gonna slow it down. Full gas.
Justin, thanks for joining us, and good luck tonight. Let's hear from a few more of our sponsors. But when we come back, we switch gears to the court to hear from our Lady Wildcats. WCSN, we'll be right back.
Champions are not merely born; they're forged in the crucible that is flag football. With equal parts turf, pigskin, and heart. That's why Buffalo Wild Wings donates to boys and girls clubs across the country to not only help thousands of kids learn about teamwork on and off the field, but to help them fulfill their destiny, to shred defensive lines, terrorize the secondary, and emerge bonded as true champions.
First Security is here. Only here. So that means we're here, here, and here. Even here. And definitely here. Because here is where we want to be. For you. First Security Bank, only in Arkansas.
Wildcat fans, keep up with your favorite team all year long with the official app of HAR-BER Wildcat Athletics. A free download in the App Store and Google Play, the HAR-BER Athletics app will keep you up to date with all things Wildcat. Schedules, scores, rosters, news, social media, final score notifications, as well as live broadcasts are just a touch away. The official app of the HAR-BER Wildcats, proudly presented by Crane Buick GMC. Download today for free in the App Store and Google Play.
Will gives to Garrett on the draw. He's got a hole. Garrett inside the 20. Garrett still going inside the 10. 5, touchdown Springdale.
Hi, I'm Dennis Buss.
And I'm Don Strubin. And we want you to join the Varsity Club.
It's a club that connects former Springdale High and HAR-BER High student athletes, coaches, and administrators.
Plus, funds from this club may be used to support scholarships and teams.
For charter memberships, you only have to pay $20 a year.
But for the first 5 years you're out of school, members only have to pay $5. Join now.
The Varsity Club.
Seconds, he still had gone. 7, 6, 5, Perry to the rack. Good! Perry off the rack, Hempfield's full court shot, no good, HAR-BER wins! Tyler Perry holds the ball for 2 minutes and then finishes off the glass. HAR-BER in full control.
Our Lady Wildcat volleyball team is proving to be a dominating force in the 6A West. This past Tuesday, they took on the Rogers Mounties. After coming back from a 7-point deficit in match 3 with a score 23-16, they rallied and beat the Mounties on their home court. An incredible match to say the least, and one of the biggest contributors to that victory was senior leader Tori Sugg. Take a look.
The libero is the most well-known position on the court, but for right-handed Tori Sugg, with her energetic attitude and unique position, makes all the difference in the Lady Wildcat offense.
Tori's really athletic, and so she is one of those players, like when you need a spark or to put a ball away, she does a really nice job of being aggressive. She kind of is one of those players who you can control, or you can know she can control to put the ball away for you.
She's so talented on the right side. Most people who are right-handed can't hit right side that well because of the angle, but she always has done so well on it, and that's her natural position.
Tori's ability on the court is a huge asset to the team, but she finds her value in something much different.
Since it's a game of mistakes, I think that we all make sure that we're being positive and helping each other when we're down.
Both on and off the court, Tori is very uplifting, like I said. She's a great leader, and she's always pulling me up when I'm down on myself, and she's doing that no matter what and no matter where we're at.
But her athleticism is just, she can jump out of the gym, she moves well, she's quick and she's agile, so she's just one of those players you watch her and you're like, man, she's really athletic.
Aside from her athleticism, Tori's contribution to the team has less to do with the game and more to do with their mindset.
I'm making sure that everyone is staying positive even whenever they're messing up, and even if it's like not the greatest point, just making sure they're smiling about it. I think we've all matured over the years, and we just want it for each other, and we have a big group of seniors, so I think that's important, just like the leadership going on.
This team's positivity and maturity, along with the unique talents that each player brings to the court, makes them a strong contender in this year's state championship. For WCSN, I'm Gentry Spresser.
WCSN is broadcasting all Wildcat volleyball games on Tuesday and Thursday. Next week, they have a game against Bentonville, followed by an away game at Rogers Heritage. Be sure to come out and support or tune in live. One last quick commercial break. When we come back, Coach Wood will be here to help us close out the show and help break down the Bentonville Tigers. You're watching the Wildcat Sports Network.
Welcome home to Lindsay Living. Affordable rates,
available on-site management, attitudes of service, and amenities unmatched make residents love where they live and play. From value-packed basic apartments to resort-style living on golf courses, we manage options to fit your needs and wants. Apply online at lindsaymanagement.com for locations throughout Arkansas and in surrounding states.
So St. Matthews, his lightning fast speed.
No. He's got explosive speed.
Dude, he's lightning fast.
Sane, would you describe your speed as explosive or lightning fast? What? Dude, I'm telling you, he's explosive.
Lightning fast.
What's that? Lightning fast.
Lightning fast.
Yeah.
If you absolutely, positively want the best heating and air company in Northwest Arkansas, then you need to call Absolute Heat and Air with over 73 years of combined experience. Their technicians are fully licensed and insured, background checked, and drug tested, so you can absolutely trust Absolute Heat and Air. They offer $49 service calls all year long, 24/7, 365. The absolute best value around. Call Absolute Heat and Air or visit us online.
Here with us to help close out the show is none other than Coach Wood. Coach, tonight will be your first conference game of the year against a very tough Bentonville team. What can we expect out of the Tigers tonight?
Well, I mean, Jody Grant and his staff do a fantastic job. I mean, year in, year out, it doesn't change. You can put on film from 10 years ago, and, you know, Bentonville's good at what they do. And they don't deviate from that plan for anyone. I mean, no one spooks them out of a plan. And so for us, we know we got a team that, you know, a lot of people get caught up in non-conference records, but a lot of times non-conference records are dictated by who you play. Some people play a really stellar non-conference and they might struggle with the record. Other teams take a softer route, pad their record, and really don't prepare them for the West. But Bentonville's done that. They've gone out and played a really good Conway team, Midwest City out of Oklahoma that's really good in 6A. And then, of course, Aledo, Texas, was one of probably the top 20 teams in the country. And so their record is very deceiving, but they're physical. They execute really well on both sides of the ball. And, I mean, it's just a good ball club.
Who are some of the players from Bentonville that we really need to be able to look out for Friday night?
Well, defensively, it starts with their front three. I mean, those guys can really play. They're physical kids. They're experienced, play really good with their hands. They've got about a six-man rotation in there that does well. They got two sophomores at linebacker, very talented, very fast. Secondary-wise, I mean, you know, the number 10, the Ponca kid, you know, I think he was one of the top defensive players last year as a sophomore, newcomer of the year. And one of them along with the corner over at Springdale. But then they got a corner that's really athletic. And then on offense, I mean, it starts with their offensive line. They're athletic and physical. They want to get the run game going, have a lot of RPO stuff they like to do. And one thing Bentonville's notorious for, they're going to go max protection. They're going to throw the ball down the field. I mean, they're going to have, so that's a lot of responsibility on our secondary to stay disciplined, keep everything in front of you, don't let them behind you. Usually when we keep things in front of us, when we make them work the field, everything turns out really well. The times we struggle with that is when we give up the big ball over the course of our history. And then offensively, it comes down to just execution and turnovers on third down. We've got to be able to execute on third down. But told our guys, I mean, you know, I've been telling our guys, going to continue to tell them, even going to the game, we played them the last 3 years, we beat them 2 of the 3. And last year was a fantastic ball game that come down just a couple plays here and there.
Now, over the past few games, we've seen Hunter play at wide receiver as well as quarterback. Where can we expect him to start tonight?
We're going to play him at right guard. No, I'm just kidding. Tonight he's going to be a quarterback. We're going to put him at quarterback, and Blaze is out one more week. We're excited. We'll be getting Blaze back next week. Really excited about that. But tonight, you know, Hunter's going to be the guy who's going to be spinning the ball for us. You know, we got Max at tailback. We really, truly believe highly in our receiving core of Micah Seawood. Nick Buchanan is out with a concussion, so Walker Emmel, a sophomore, will be stepping up there. We've got Gavin Courtney, Luke Sawyer, and Liam Taylor, which is another one of our dynamic sophomores. So we really feel good with our skill guys. Arrington McRae at tight end had a big week last week at Pine Bluff. So, I mean, we got a little bit of youth in there, but it's guys that, you know, they like the ball in their hands, and special things can happen when we give it to them.
Yeah. Coach, what do our Wildcats need to do to walk away with the win tonight?
Well, we got to maintain the first quarter. I mean, common sense is Bentonville's been off two weeks. They've been getting, you know, probably hammered about, you know, being 0-3 and whatnot. They've rallied the troops. They've circled the wagons. You know, us versus the world, like, you know, all us coaches go through and tell everybody. But so that first quarter, they're going to come out really hard, and we just got to ride the waves, maintain our composure, settle in second, third, and fourth quarter, and let's play some football and see what happens. Got to win turnover battle, and kicking game is going to be critical.
Coach, thanks for joining us, and best of luck tonight. That's all the time we have for this week. Don't forget to follow our social media at HAR-BER WCSN on Twitter and our website HAR-BER Wildcat Sports Network.com to keep up to date with all things HAR-BER. For Superintendent Dr. Jim Rollins and Athletic Director Wayne Stellick, I'm Nick Luttrell. Up next is Kickoff. We'll see you next week.
What is pain? What is pain to you? Do you understand? Do you even know what pain is? Stop running from it. Embrace the pain that you're gonna feel when you're trying to do something great. Let's change what follows our I am. I am successful. I am powerful. I am great. I am amazing. What follows your I am is going to shape your day, your year, and your life. I am great. I am amazing.
Caught by Wood. He's got the first down at the 20. He's got a blocker at the 10.
Greatness
The 5
comes
dives for the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcat.
Pain can't be your enemy, it has to be your friend. You have to learn to embrace that pain. You have to learn to dig deep. When you feel that pain in your heart, when you feel that pain in your leg, the pain in your arm, you gotta learn to push through, dig a little bit deeper. Just know that the other person on the other side that wants to conquer you, wants to defeat you, is going through the same thing. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna impress their will upon the next man, the next woman, the next person that's gonna struggle through the pain? On the other side of pain, greatness. Are you all in? Are you ready to sacrifice? No more excuses. Get it done. How bad do you want to be great?